Hello, boys and girls. Lord Hawkeye here again. I apologize for my long absence. Cold and flu season has been absolutely wrecking my voice, to say the least. But should be okay now. Anyways, wanted to address yet another war apologist who's come my way. This would be Manix the Pirate. Guy's pretty amusing, but well, so now what can I say? Send someone to the military, and all of a sudden, all their logic goes out the window. Military does that to you. Anyways, so in response to his critics of the military, he had basically made this argument. Basically, it was something along the lines of, "Oh yeah, well you guys shop at Walmart and they support sweatshops, so you know better." Ha! I'm not kidding. That was his actual argument. I'm not making that up. Anyway, pardon me. So, basically, he's comparing military to sweatshops. Well, as I pointed out there, there's one very first of all, there's one very fundamental difference. With military, it's basically, hey, want to financially support the military? What if I don't want to? Well, we're going to throw you in jail, and if you try to defend yourself, we're going to shoot you. Oh. It's with the case of sweatshops, it's more like this. Hey kid, want to work in my sweatshop? Well, what if I don't want to? Then I'll go find another kid who does. You see? Very big difference here. The thing is, military is compulsory. You're forced to fund it. You don't get a choice. Sweatshops? You can quit any time. You can choose not to work there. If you don't like it, don't work there. It's really just that simple. But, so already the comparison kind of falls apart right there. But let's pick it apart even further. And of course, when I brought this up, someone tried to argue, "Oh yeah, well, no, it's not voluntary. They're threatening them with starvation if they don't work in their sweatshop." You could basically make that argument for any employer. Basically, anybody who does not employ you under the conditions you want is initiating force against you. In other words. Yeah. Seriously, people, think before you speak, otherwise you say something stupid like that. And the other thing that really bugs me about people who morally condemn sweatshops is it's all a matter of perspective. While it may be shitty work to you, someone else may not think so. If they like it, if they think it's better than the alternatives, if they think it's the best choice for them, well, are you going to try to stop them? Yeah. And if your answer is yes, I'm going to point a gun at them and say, "No, you're not allowed to do that because I don't like that job." You are claiming ownership of their time and their labor, saying, "No, you're not going to use your time like this. You're going to use your time like this because I say so." And last I checked, that's called slavery. Sorry, but that's just how it is. So, there we got some problems there. And you also need to remember, while it's shitty work for us because we're so much more advanced and so much richer, to these people it may not be the case. And in fact, for us that was the case for our ancestors. Like we used to be all farmers. We used to work in sweltering hot fields for piddly money, and as part of the transition to becoming the richer countries that we are, we work sweatshop labor. Our ancestors did. It's all part of the transition from going from poor third world country to the rich country we are now. And those countries are just going through that phase themselves. So when you say no sweatshops for you, you're saying no, you're not allowed to become rich. You're not allowed to become a prosperous nation. You're going to stay a poor third world country so we can take care of you and feel like big shots. In other words, you're hurting people's chance at a better life just to feed your own ego. That's the real harsh reality behind it, and it's pretty ugly when you think about it like that, isn't it? So, before you go spouting off that sweatshop labor is the evil of the world, you might want to do a little homework, and you might want to remember, you might want to ask yourself that same question. If someone wants to work sweatshop labor, are you going to try to stop him? And if so, I really would like you to try and explain to me how that makes you the good guy here, because I'm just not seeing it. And to all the war apologists out there, seriously, if you're gonna come on my channel and make comments about how violence is awesome as long as the chosen ones say so, save your keys somewhere and don't. I mean, it's embarrassing that people in this day and age still try to make arguments like that. It's just insane. And you also might want to ask yourself, before you make an argument in favor of a war, ask yourself, would I accept this argument from some Nazi apologist? If your answer is no, then chances are I'm probably not going to accept it from you either. Just as a little rule of thumb for you. Anyway, and that's all I got to say about that. Until next time, be aware and be wise.